Hello everyone, welcome back to Chapter 1 channel. Today I'm going to talk about a movie named Barely Lethal. I hope you enjoy. Prescott is a secretive government school designed to turn orphan girls into lethal assassins. From a young age, these girls are trained to kill, never experiencing love or attachment. The headmaster, Hardman, instills in them the belief that emotional ties are weaknesses for agents. However, one of the star pupils, 83, disagrees with this mindset. She longs for a family, but she is isolated at Prescott, despite being the best in every area, which only makes her unpopular, especially with her rival, 84. 83 is the first student in her class to be sent on a mission because of her exceptional achievement. Her job is straightforward. She has to retrieve a briefcase from a target, which she does flawlessly in a matter of minutes. Although missions give her the chance to experience the outside world, they also make her envious because she longs for the typical life that other girls her age lead. She becomes increasingly interested in and intrigued by the ordinary lives of ordinary teens on later missions, spending more time learning about their activities. As 83 becomes more immersed in teenage culture, she's given a new assignment to capture a notorious American arms dealer, Victoria Knox. This mission frustrates 84 again. Before starting, 83 is caught reading teen magazines, earning a reprimand from Hardman, though she is still selected for the mission. Knox, who has a history of targeting Prescott agents, is a formidable opponent. 83 devises a clever plan, pretending to be captured before defeating Knox's henchmen. She ties Knox to a balloon, which is soon pulled up by a passing plane. However, Knox still manages to shoot at 83, forcing her to plunge into a river below. While Knox is taken into custody by Hardman, they converse as though they once shared a close relationship. Meanwhile, 83 survives her fall without injury. As she contemplates her next move, the idea of leaving Prescott crosses her mind. She discards her communication device and decides to disappear, officially marked as inactive. Finally free, 83, now going by the name Megan Walsh, sets out to live her aspiration for a typical adolescent existence. She chooses to live with the friendly Larson family in Newton, USA, after enrolling in a student exchange program. Reactions to Megan's presence are divided. While Mrs. Larson and her son Parker are kind, Liz, her daughter, seems more aloof. Megan is grateful for Mrs. Larson's kindness at home, and she soon becomes friends with Parker, who is ninja obsessed, over dinner. But Liz is still hard to get along with. Later, Megan gets ready for her first day of high school by getting too much inspiration from fashion magazines, which causes the other kids to tease and bully her. Liz grudgingly lends her some clothing, which leaves Megan feeling confused and wounded. Before her introduction in front of the school, Megan meets Roger, who works with the stage lighting. They quickly hit it off, though Megan awkwardly references a magazine that stereotypes his work. Roger is kind to her and warns her about the bullies at school. As Megan gets on stage, the school bully, Gooch, humiliates her, but the popular and charming Cash comes to her aid. Cash's charm wins Megan over, just as it does with many other girls. Later, Cash performs with his band, Emotaken, and the crowd adores him. During lunch, Megan is invited to sit with the cheerleaders but declines, as her intel from the movie Mean Girls has taught her that cheerleaders are often manipulative. Megan instead bonds with Roger during class, and they find common ground through shared humor. The teacher then announces that the next day, everyone will sit with their assigned partners. Megan eyes Cash as her ideal partner. Determined to sit next to Cash, Megan sneaks into the lab that night and alters the seating chart. When Gooch attempts to bully her again, she swiftly takes him down, revealing her assassin training. Megan is determined to blend in and find her place in this new, ordinary world. Using her ninja skills, Megan quickly completes the task and sneaks out unnoticed. The next morning, she confidently sits next to Cash, but ends up in a confrontation with some other girls who also like him. However, the teacher, who clearly has a soft spot for Cash, selects him to be the lab assistant. After class, the same two girls tell Megan about an opportunity to become the school mascot. Although the girls are able to persuade Megan, who is aware from her research that being the mascot is unpopular. They deceive her into believing that she will be able to approach Cash backstage and have a romantic moment with him as the mascot. Megan gets ready to perform by grabbing the mascot costume. Once she gets the hang of it, she goes to an audition and is the only one there. She performs an amazing dance, including some flips, and ends with a confident, loud shout. She is immediately assigned to the post, which is not surprising. Later, while working out at home, Megan notices a mysterious van watching her. The same van follows her to school, leaving her feeling uneasy. On the day of the big competition, Megan, dressed as a Viking, dances energetically to boost school spirit. Suddenly, masked men jump out of the van and try to kidnap her. Despite being outnumbered, Megan effortlessly defeats them, using the combat skills she learned at Prescott. She even throws her prop axe at one of the fleeing kidnappers. It turns out they are just students from a rival school, attempting a prank by kidnapping the mascot. Realizing she had been tricked by the girls, Megan feels humiliated and rushes off. Roger follows her and tries to comfort her, but she remains upset. Back at home, Megan is frustrated with how difficult it is to fit in and act like a regular teenager. She feels like high school is harder than her intense training at Prescott. Mrs. Larson notices Megan's distress and reassures her, offering motherly advice. She tells Megan that high school challenges are normal and encourages her to just be herself. When Megan returns to school, she's greeted with applause. A video of her fight with the kidnappers has gone viral, and even the bullies cheer her on. Cash approaches her and invites her to a jam session with his band. Megan arrives early, and Roger surprises her, but she accidentally uses her combat reflexes and nearly knocks him out. They chat, and although Roger finds her explanations of martial arts a bit strange, he accepts her quirks with a smile. Soon after, Cash and his band arrive, interrupting their conversation. Cash pulls Megan away from Roger and asks her opinion on his new song. As they talk, Megan realizes she might not be as compatible with Cash as she thought, but she still wants his attention. Cash then invites her to Gooch's party that weekend, which she eagerly accepts. Megan is unexpectedly captured by Prescott agents while she is walking home and is being pursued by a car. For the first time in a long time, she sees Hardman when she wakes up strapped to a chair. Threatening to coerce her into disclosing information, Hardman accuses her of working for another company. In order to confuse her and increase her emotions, he chooses to inject her with a truth serum. Megan reveals, with tears in her eyes, that she no longer wants to be an assassin and that she simply wants to be a regular girl. Hardman agrees to release her but on one condition: she must say goodbye to Newton and return to Prescott as Agent 83. Still under the influence of the serum, Megan is dropped off in a drunken state. She confronts Liz, telling her that she's been pretending to be a tough, lonely girl and advises her to open up and make genuine connections with people. Megan passes out shortly after. The next day at school, Megan has lunch with Roger, and they have a deep conversation about their lives. Megan confesses that she feels like she hasn't accomplished anything meaningful, but Roger reassures her that she has always impressed him. Despite his kind words, Megan leaves to sit with Cash, but she invites Roger to Gooch's party before she goes. Back at home, Liz and Mrs. Larson argue over whether Megan should be allowed to attend the party after her behavior the previous night. Mrs. Larson insists that Megan should go, with Liz accompanying her to ensure she stays safe. At the party, the atmosphere is wild, with loud music and alcohol, exactly what Megan was hoping for. However, 84, now going by the alias Heather, is also there, keeping an eye on Megan and ready to ruin her fun. Heather is more socially adept and quickly becomes popular with the other kids. Meanwhile, Liz, who ends up in the bathroom, encounters a drunk Gooch. He recognizes her and invites her to join him for tequila. Taking Megan's advice to be more open, Liz decides to join him. Upstairs, Megan and Heather scan the crowd, both focusing on one person: Cash. Heather and Megan both approach Cash, but he chooses Megan over Heather. Roger arrives at the party, sees Liz and Gooch having fun, and asks about Megan's whereabouts. When he goes to find her, he witnesses Megan kissing Cash, which breaks his heart, and he leaves, upset. The next morning, Hardman confronts Megan on her way to school and insists that she go back to Prescott. He informs her that her safety is at jeopardy since Knox has escaped. Megan enjoys her new life at high school and won't return, despite his worries. Reluctantly, Hardman consents, but cautions her that if Knox pursues her, she will be on her own. Liz and Megan finally become sisters after driving together after missing the school bus. A car suddenly drives up next to them, and gunfire breaks out. While admitting to Liz about her history as a trained assassin and the reasons behind the assassination attempts, Megan takes over the vehicle. They almost avoid a collision, only to find themselves in a scrapyard with their assailant still pursuing them. They crash after a wild chase, but Liz and Megan make it out alive. Megan detects Heather's perfume as she examines the pursuer's vehicle. At the hospital, Megan informs Hardman about Heather, but he's surprised because he believed Heather had died during Knox's escape. Megan realizes Heather is working with Knox. She asks for her Prescott gear, but Hardman refuses, saying she's no longer part of the program. After Liz wakes up, Megan apologizes for putting her in danger and lying to her. Megan considers leaving to protect the Larsons, but Liz insists she stay. Megan sees a drawing Parker made of her as part of the family, which touches her. She hugs Parker and returns to Liz, who is with Gooch. After talking things out, Liz agrees to help Megan take on Knox. The next morning, Megan briefs Liz on their plan, and they spend the day preparing for what's ahead, enjoying each other's company as they get ready for homecoming night. That evening, Megan and Liz are picked up by their dates for the homecoming dance. Liz and Gooch are clearly enjoying themselves, while Megan and Cash have an awkward interaction with little to say. Megan tries to crack jokes, but Cash doesn't understand her humor. Realizing Roger is the one who truly gets her, Megan breaks up with Cash right before his concert and apologizes to Roger, telling him he's the one she really wants. Unfortunately, Heather has already made a move on Roger, and they are now dating. Without hesitation, Megan confronts Heather, and a fierce fight breaks out, causing chaos at the party. Heather grabs a metal bar and swings it skillfully, but Megan dodges her attacks. Megan eventually uses a fire hose to knock Heather down and pins her, but Heather escapes by throwing dust in Megan's face. While they continue to clash, Heather reveals that Knox is targeting the Larsons. Just as Heather is about to stab Megan, Liz intervenes, stabbing Heather in the leg with a corn dog, and Megan quickly finishes the fight. Liz is thrilled with her actions. They rush home, take down a guard, and Megan confronts Knox inside, holding her at gunpoint. During their conversation, Knox reveals that she was the very first Prescott agent, number 1. Suddenly, another guard enters, holding Liz hostage. Megan surrenders her gun, but then challenges Knox to a fair fight. As Megan gains the upper hand, Knox pulls out a gun, but Parker throws a flashbang, giving the Prescott agents time to storm the house. They swiftly take out Knox's men, and Hardman personally captures Knox. Megan hugs Hardman, grateful he came to save her. Hardman admits that he cares about Megan and recruits her back into Prescott as a deep cover agent while allowing her to stay with the Larsons. Megan returns to the party, where Cash and the teacher are hitting it off, but she can't find Roger. She learns Roger has already left with his dad. Determined, Megan arrives in a helicopter, confesses her feelings to Roger, and invites him on another date. Roger accepts, and they, along with Liz and Gooch, fly off together, smiling. Megan has finally found her sense of belonging, making her life more meaningful and fulfilling. Thank you everyone for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more movie recap. Take care everyone.